Hello out there in the interwebs, you have your tubes tuned to Candle Brony, and I forgot what I was going to say. I've been a little busy off camera, loyal viewers. Not too awful busy, and of course, continuing the tradition of starting recording at night. Every time, loyal viewers. So, well, probably the biggest thing you'll notice is I made a smeltery. I made a big smeltery. I like making big smelteries. I like big smelteries, and I cannot lie. I actually have a roof on it, and I have some redstone lamps to keep the inside nice and lit, because I don't need stuff spawning in there and getting blood inside my nice clean smeltery. And I've got this nice little seared window, so I can see inside. Normally you'd be seeing like little particles coming off of this, but I have particles turned way low because of some of these things I have. I forget which ones. Loyal viewers. Anyway, I cooked up 8 stacks of grout, and there's also 2 village smelteries in there. That's why I've got 8 furnaces in my little temporary base. And today, I think I'm going to play around a little bit with Tinker's Construct, because I mentioned something about alumite in one of the previous videos. And alumite is aluminum, iron, and obsidian. That's what else I needed to get. For obsidian, you need to make a stone barrel. So, 8, there we go. And do I have any charcoal left? I have not actually been out mining anywhere yet, loyal viewers. There we go. So I need to make a I think I need to cook up 2 stacks of, well, 2 charcoal worth of cobblestone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Because you need some smooth stone to make a stone barrel. And And one of the cool things, another mod, is this guy. Zegtones apparently adds it. The mini charcoal, which lets you, basically each mini charcoal will burn exactly 1 thing. Like that. There we go. Excuse me, loyal viewers. Alright, let's get this stuff down, get this organized. There we go. And see, I like having a whole bunch of furnaces. At least until I'm able to get some of the fancier furnaces, which I can make at least one of the new furnaces, probably by the end of this episode, though I won't really be using it until we go into the nether. There is a furnace. Is it just better furnaces, or is it iron furnaces? Let's check the not enough items. Better furnaces. And you have the iron furnace, which is only slightly better. It works just a little bit quicker. The gold furnace works even quicker. Diamond furnace is quicker, and ridiculously quick. They also have upgrades over here, and the ones that I'm really interested in are the ore processing upgrades. This one and that one. The only difference, this one will wear out, that one will smelt as many items as you want it to. But, you know, they're not, the regular ones are not very expensive. That one really isn't that expensive either. Some obsidian and some diamonds and stuff. But, you know, a bit pricey for where we are right now in the game. Alright, those should be done. Sweet. So, the barrel that I'm about to make is from Ex Nihilo, which if you've played Skyblock, you're probably familiar with. Well, if you've played modded Skyblock anyway. Because with these, we go over to our handy dandy crafting table, which is not all that handy dandy where it's positioned. But we need some slabs. 1 slab, and like so, get you a stone barrel. Now you need the stone barrel because you can't put lava in a wooden barrel, can you? Scoop. Alright, where did I put my lava? I believe my lava's over this way. I don't have a lava incredibly close, loyal viewers, but it's close enough that I can just run over here and get a couple... Where's my lava? There's my lava. Way up there. Yeah, I believe that's the closest lava to me. At least it's the closest lava to me that I've found. Alright. Anyway, let's get running, and I'll go ahead and bring you back once I get over there. So I will catch you in a second, loyal viewers. And here we are, loyal viewers. So I'm going to just go ahead and put the stone barrel right there. I'm going to grab a piece of dirt, slap it right on top of the stone barrel, and use some of my stone slabs because I need to have water on top of this barrel, but I don't want the water to just be getting everywhere. So just do like that. And, oh, correct. There we go. Now we have our water nice and contained. And we can just do like that. And when you put it in there, you see now up there in the thing it says obsidian. And now we have an obsidian. It's that easy, loyal viewers. It's way easier than just pouring water on top of it and then mining it out with a pickaxe, unless you have a ridiculously quick pickaxe, which you can make in this pack, loyal viewers, but I don't have one, and I am a long way away from being able to have one too. Scoop that one out. How much obsidian do I have now? 8. I'm going to want a decent amount of obsidian, because, well, obsidian is always useful, isn't it, loyal viewers? Obsidian. Because, let's see, I want to make some alumite. How much obsidian do I have now? 11. I'll get just one more. There we go, that should be plenty of obsidian. And give me this. Do, and do. Excellent. Alright, so I guess I will meet you back at the base, loyal viewers. And I'm back, loyal viewers. Alright, so now that I've got some obsidian, we can get down to making this alumite that I've been talking about so much. So first, we're going to actually make a different material. We're going to make some aluminum brass, which is 3 aluminum and 1 copper. I'll just toss that in a smelter and it'll go pretty quick. Where's my food? Am I now just eating melons? It looks like I am just going to be eating melons. Put one of those away. Alright. I'm waiting for those to melt because I don't want to get anything weird going on. Because I really, really like the smeltery, but if you melt your stuff wrong, you'll have a bad day. And a very cool thing about the smeltery, if you didn't know, is when you put stuff in it, you get twice the output. Like I only put in 4 blocks of ore, but I'm getting 8 aluminum brass. And that works, I'm pretty sure it works with obsidian too. So to make alumite, it's 5 aluminum, 2 obsidian, and 2 iron. And that will get you 3 alumite per thing. So we will be getting 6 times 3, 18 alumite. So why have I made this aluminum brass? Well, you need either gold or aluminum brass to make casts, because you cannot just make Tinker's Construct items out of ingots. You have to cast them, and to do that you use these things here. So what are we going to do first? I think we'll make a pick first. No, let's go ahead and make something that I really need right now. I need a broadaxe, a large plate, a tough binding, and a tough rod, because I need to make a lumber axe, loyal viewers. It is a very, very nice thing to have, and it is also not that difficult to make, and you don't really need to have an incredibly awesome lumber axe to have. Like, once I make this one, I probably won't need to make another lumber axe. Like most of the other tools we're going to make today, I'm probably going to be replacing. But the lumber axe is probably going to be with us forever. So what we need to do is we're going to make the tough rod out of our 3 thaumium ingots that I found somewhere. I don't even remember where. But it takes 3 material to make a tough rod. And I like using thaumium for tough rods because it gives you the thaumic modifier, which gives you an extra modifier on your thing, and it has a pretty good handle thing. I mean, it's got decent, but It has decent durability, it has a 1.3 handle modifier, and it's all around pretty decent for making handles out of. It's also really good for like plates and bindings. If I had all the thaumium that I could ever want, I'd make a plate instead of a tough rod. But that's neither here nor there. What else I need to make? I need to make a stone broadaxe head because I need to cast this guy. And then, whoops, I need to make a tough binding and a large plate. And for those, I'm going to want paper. And it's a nice thing that I have all these sugar canes. Can you make sugar cane in your crafting grid? Nope. Boop, boop, boop. Alright, so I'll just go over here. So you all know how to make paper. It's just 3 in a line like that. And that should be plenty and still give me enough to get a little cane farm going anyway. So I need a tough binding and a large plate. Alright, now let's go ahead and cast this head. So to do that, we just, there we go, a little bit of lag. And we want to make sure that we have the aluminum brass on the bottom. Now you can use gold for this, but it takes 2 ingots of gold to make a cast. But it only takes 1 ingot of aluminum brass to make a cast. And when you cast something, whatever you use to cast it gets burned up. So, and this is going to take, I believe it's 8 alumite to make this head. Yep, so we're going to just sit there and watch it go for a little while. I've also got, over on this side, I just have some blank casting tables and a whole bunch of casting basins. Because this is what I'm going to be using for my smelting for quite a while. And I can chuck a whole bunch of stuff in there. I can throw in almost 250 blocks of whatever I feel like tossing in. And I can cast them directly as blocks, so taking out 9 ingots, or I can make an ingot cast and pull them out 1 at a time. Well, 2 at a time there. Alright. Our broadaxe head is ready. Now we just take it over here to the tool forge. We'll click on the axe. And we go that thing, that thing, that thing, and this should give us 3 modifiers. 3 modifiers remaining. It has a lot of durability. It's pretty slow, but that's just because the axes start off fairly slow. And it has 3 modifiers remaining. And is this going to be the charcoal maker, or is this going to be the tree capitator? This is going to be the tree capitator. I'll make the charcoal maker later. The tree capitator. Alright, give me that. There we go. We now have the tree capitator, which is going to be very, very nice. But we're going to need 1 extra little bit of cool stuff for it. We want some of this moss stone, because moss stone makes one of my favorite modifiers for Tinker's Construct. That is this little ball of moss. What's that ball of moss do? Well, it makes the tool automatically repair itself. It's fairly slow, so if you're going to be using something they're going to be using a lot, you might not want to put moss on it. You might want to do flex instead, and I will be. But that's a little bit down the line for now. For the moment, though, we're going to just make the tree capitator, and I'm going to show you why I really, really wanted one of these. Let's not do that one. Let's do this one. So the way a tree capitator works, well, the lumber axe works, is it cuts down the entire tree. No more hunting for the different blocks of logs and stuff. You just walk up to the tree and get rid of it. And I call it the tree capitator because way back before I even learned about Tinker's Construct, when I was just barely starting to get into mods, there was a mod called Tree Capitator. And it made just about every axe do this. But it would take it longer the more extra wood there was. Whereas the Tinker's Construct axe just goes the entire way. Bigger trees will take more durability off of it. In fact, you can already see a little bit of a chunk off the durability on it. And it had a huge amount of durability. Oh, that's nice. Alright, I'm going to chop down some more trees. Oh yes, I also have a little just a little patch of wheat back here, because I want to get this thing nice and full for when I eventually get into Botania, and I will be getting into Botania because Botania is really, really nice. So I'm going to keep on chopping down some trees, little viewers, and I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do next. So I shall catch you in a moment. And I'm back, little viewers, and I accidentally messed up on recording. I actually made this pickaxe and this rapier, and I messed up the recording on them. Oops. So I'll talk to you a little bit about them. I just made these out of Ilemite for both of them. The pickaxe has a paper binding, the rapier has a paper crossbar, and they both just have sticks. Just have sticks for their handles. And that's where the binding goes, and that's where the crossbar goes. Blade, stick. You can figure it out, little viewers. I have faith in you. The reason I made a rapier instead of all the various other options, you have the broadsword, the longsword, there's also the dagger, there is a cutlass, and there is a cleaver. And they all have different bonuses and stuff. The rapier has the lowest base damage out of any of the swords. I mean, it only does 4 attack damage, which is the same as my pickaxe. You might be thinking, Kennel, what are you doing? Only 4 damage? That's weak. Weak! And normally you would be right, little viewers, but the rapier can stab as quickly as I want to click. So it has no cooldown on the damage it can do. So let's go over to this pig here, and oh yeah. Though it does help if you actually hit them. The other nice thing about the rapier is that it ignores armor, which in normal vanilla, ignoring armor is nice, but it's not a huge game changer. But in modded, ignoring armor is really, really nice, because especially if you have Mechanism in your pack, because Mechanism adds a lot of really strong armors, and it also loves to give the enemies those really, really strong armors. So that's why I like having the rapier. And there's a couple of really silly, incredibly powerful things you can do with a rapier, but that's a bit in the future for now. For right now, you might have noticed this thing. That is the portal to the mining dimension. It's pretty simple to make, actually. You get yourself some stone bricks. If you can just take some from one of those artifact towers. If I had been thinking, I would have kept a couple of them. But you build it just like a nether portal, but instead of using a flint and steel to light it, you use the mining multi-tool. And AROMA. This is from the Aroma Numbers mod. I think that's just what it's on. Yeah, the Aroma Dimension mod. And to make this, it's just a stick, a picks, flint and steel, and any kind of bricks. And you put those kind of bricks along with that in any kind of crafting, and you get the portal frames. And these are really cool because, one, they don't make any stupid noise like a nether portal, and two, the way you get it to work, you don't just walk into it. You walk in and you crouch, and it instantly takes you. As soon as you hit crouch, poof, through the portal you go. And this will be the mining world once it loads up. And the mining world is, well, it's designed for mining. It has a whole bunch of configurations you can do in the config files. If you dig down through your Minecraft stuff, you can find the config files for this, and you can do it to have like increased ore generation for everything. You can increase the heights or decrease the height of the thing. All in all, it's really, really nice for mining. You can also turn off and on structures. I think structures might be off in this mining world, but I'm not certain. But yeah, the mining world, it pops you out as a flat world. Looks like we are on Y80, and I believe this one just follows all the normal ore generation stuff. So let's go ahead and hop down into this little cave here and see if we have anything interesting. Did I bring torches? I did not bring torches. Well, that's fair enough because this little cave thing didn't go anywhere. I also forgot to bring ladders. Usually what I'll do when I come into the mining world is I'll go straight through my portal and then I will make a hole. Just, dig 2 by 2 down, stand in the middle like this, and just dig down until I hit whatever Y coordinate I want to be on. Am I going the right way? And then you just hit shift again and you go right back through. And that's all there is to the mining dimension. And I also think that's all there's going to be for this episode, loyal viewers. What have we done? Well, we talked about our smeltery and we got ourselves some nice little tinker tools. They're not quite entry-level tinker tools. I mean, if you were doing entry-level tinker tools, if it was the only mod you had installed, you'd probably start off with flint stuff and then move on to iron and etc. etc. Alumite is, I would consider, solidly mid-tier for Tinker's Construct because they're good workhorse tools, but there are tools that are much, much better than them. And if you make Enderium, it is one of the best materials for the business end of your tools in this pack. I mean, the Enderium Rapier, I think, starts at 10 damage. Let's take a look. Enderium Rapier starts at, 14 attack damage, which is more than enough to one-shot every normal mob in the game, and with just a little bit of quartz, you can get that up to one-shotting Enderman. So yeah, Enderium is really strong. The only thing it's not good for, though, is arrows, because that is a ton of attack damage on it, but it is also very, very heavy. The best stuff for arrows, I feel, is Signalum, which is kind of useless in every other application, but for arrows it's really good. But that's a fair bit off in the future, loyal viewers. So, until next time, I shall catch you on the flip side. Laters.